Yo, what's up, everybody? Happy hump day. It's Wednesday, and we are here for another, if you like it, I love it segment of the week. Guys, it's your favorite candy lady, MrsiCandi, and I am here to give you guys a good show. So, before I can do this, I have to let my wonderful co host through, okay? So we can get this thing popping. Miss Karma. I want to say your name like Mama Joy says, Carmen. Miss Karma.
Listen, just don't cuss me out like Mama Joyce. You know, she be on one, don't she?
So much. Girl, happy hump day.
Happy hump day. We made it. We halfway through the week.
We are. So we got our show lined up. We're going to try to be on the timeline today, y'all. We're going to give y'all what y'all need so y'all can get to whatever y'all got to do, whether y'all going to bed, whether y'all going out. I'm actually not going out tonight. Praise the Lord. I've been outside a lot, Karma. I'm tired, girl.
All outside. Every reel, every post, every live video. You was touching grass, you touching air, you singing.
As you listen, my doctor told me I need vitamin D. I need to be out in the sunlight, so I'll be out there.
Girl, listen, I'm thinking about some other vitamins. Let me just stop.
That's good vitamin D too.
Listen, however we get it, however you get it, how you get it. Because if you like it, I love it.
Oh man. Okay, so listen, y'all. We gonna start this show off with a praise report. Okay. Now listen, girl. I tried my hardest to get you that gift, okay? But it would not load. I tried to convert it like 5 different ways, and it was like, no, ma'am. So we're gonna work on that.
Listen, got it. It's cool. It's gonna come back in the universe. I'm not even worried. So let me tell y'all my praise report real quick. Just if you follow me separately, then you probably already heard. But I've been trying to get back into school for the past 5 years. I had 3 classes left back in 2018, ran out of financial aid. And then I ended up calling them, seeing what I can work out with them. And they paid 60% of my debt. And then Jesus, this was the kicker, y'all. Jesus said I wasn't out of financial aid and I have just enough to finish my last 3 classes. The money came out of nowhere because in 2018, they said, since you ain't got none, here's your payment plan. I defaulted. You owe us $5,400. That turned into $2,100, a payment plan for 12 months. We're going to erase this. Oh, and we found exactly what you need to graduate. You'll be done with your classes October 2nd, 2023. So I'll be a graduate at my graduation in December 2023. Here I come. And in grad school, here I come.
I hear that. So she gonna be finishing school and graduating this year.
This year. Come on, glory. Because you know I'm Christian, but I cuss a little. Glory.
Amen.
He put it on his American Express black card. He ain't got no limit. He said I'll pay for the classes. Cha-ching.
Yes. That's awesome. That is awesome. I know how the process went last week, so I wanted to make sure you was able to update them, let them know, like, look, y'all, look what's happening.
Girl. Annie for collections. Shout outs to you. I know we had a little scuffle at one point, but listen, God saw the light, you saw the light, we done fixed it. So so now I'm gonna be trying to work on building a scholarship, bridging the gaps for when adults is out of financial aid. I'm gonna be working vigorously to announce it at the end of this year so that we can make sure nobody else is in this type of situation. We can get people graduated.
I love that. Okay, beautiful.
So we're trying to bless others around here.
That's what I'm talking about. Spread it. So I was like, I think my initial praise report was gonna be something like, just simple. Because I would have something to be thankful for every freaking day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm here. I'm alive. Thank you, Jesus. But today I had a scare, right? So I'm prepping for the show, uploading everything, trying to get our cute little intro together. I'm working on stuff, trying to promote, getting it popping. And then I get a phone call from my god sister because our daughters go to the same school, right? She let me know there was a bomb threat at my daughter's school. So, like, had to call Mike. We had to run out there to the school and just stand posted because we want to know what's going on. Because don't play about our kid, okay? Right. we don't do that. And I was like freaking out, y'all, because y'all know she's been homeschooled for since COVID, right? So we just a month ago she goes back to school. And
then this happened.
Many issues. I mean, it's been like every day they calling us about something. But when they told us it was a lock-in, like lockdown, you can't go out, you can't go in.
Right.
Not I get my kid. So we went up there, and the praise report is my baby's here with me. and all is good.
All is good. All is well. Still covered. The babies are still covered. You still covered. Something to praise about.
Yes, but girl, I was over. Like seriously,
it's scary because I worked in the school system, and there'll be shootings around the school, and we would get locked down. And it's bad out here.
And it's like I guess I kind of feel like once we see all these rival videos of these students wilding out, because we've been having that students been getting arrested at her school and like the high school part and all of that. So I see you posting stuff about, the CPS and going to the board meetings and everything like that.
And I'm not be playing with them. I could be on their necks at all costs.
And I love it. And I was like, I need to definitely talk to Karma more and figure out how I can get involved, because I do feel like this is scary. Like I kept her home extra long because I was scared of that stuff in the first place. But Absolutely. She just learns better in person. So I had to make that decision to get her back in person. But it's like, it's so scary. I can't have that. Like, right. That scares the crap out of me. So we as a people, as a community, definitely got to figure out what we can do to keep our children safe in this environment. It's so scary. And I don't know what to do. I don't know what I can offer at the board meetings, but I can tell y'all I'm scared. Mm-hmm. I'm scared and something needs to happen. A change needs to happen. So yeah, praise report. London is in her room cleaning up because the room's a hot mess, but she's here. She's with me. Thank you, Jesus.
That's it. And you know what? In a weird way, this made you be like, you know what? I might need to get more involved on a different level. So we need people. Exactly. They're really scary for us. We now are old people. Remember, old people used to tell us like the world is crazy out there and what you doing, and we used to be like whatever. And now I feel like I'm the one like, where y'all going? Y'all ain't read this article. It's crazy out there. So like I see myself warping to my elders on certain levels when it comes to the schools. So,
I do feel like it's a different day now than it was then. I think
I'll be over exaggerating. I honestly, because if we're millennials, we was the first school shooters. We were.
I know. That happened to me in high school. When I was in junior high and elementary, that was never like a fear. Like, you know what I'm saying? Now we be scared to send our kids to kindergarten.
Well, I'm 89 and I feel like Columbine, I was still in elementary when it happened.
Yeah, see, I was in high
school. I'm on the younger end of millennials. I think the youngest ones is like 29. I'm 33. And so I think I was in elementary when it happened. It just wasn't so broadcast where, kids is showing us they're in the room and texting, and we didn't have that. But the amount of fights, the violence, I feel like it's the same. We just didn't record it. We just didn't have the technology to make it present.
My elementary school, we was not like having fights. Like it wasn't like that for me.
Girl, you must have went to a good school. That's what I'm convinced on. You must have had a nice.
I think I went to pretty good schools. Like my high school was definitely good. I went to Wyoming High School. I went to a real good high school.
Wow, you ain't even in the Cincinnati area.
I went to high school. But let me tell you, when Columbine happened, it happened in a school that was similar to Wyoming, right? So it scared the crap out of me because I think I was in 9th grade when Columbine happened, and it was a whole bunch of gothic kids at my school. Girl, I was going to school scared as hell,
I think I might have been in maybe 6th or 7th grade when it happened, and I was like in 7th grade when 9/11 happened. So I feel like as a millennial, I feel like it's not anything different. I just think it's just more broadcast than what we saw. Maybe because we're all in our little bubble. You was at Wyoming, you didn't know right how crazy things were, and now we see it at our fingertips. So I
was CPS free before high school. Like I went to Clifton Elementary, I went to Schroeder Padilla Junior High, and then I went to Wyoming. So I did start off in CPS.
Not you scared.
We moved up like George and Weezy. We moved up.
She not a part of that Jacob Center, that Big Red Hughes, that Withrow. She not with that. She not with Tab, Carson, Douglas. She not.
But my boyfriend went to Hughes though.
He went to Big Red. Okay, but you got, and I think that's why it's a little like whoa, like a shell shock for some. But I feel like if you grew up in the inner city school environment, it's just the procedures are different, of course, but like it's the same type of threat, you know. So hopefully we'll get it together. The praise report is your baby is safe. Yes. And now you gonna be a part of the train and be like, so what is y'all doing up there? What's the
I'm like, let me get to some meetings. Let's find out let's brainstorm. How can we fix this? What's up with these students fighting these teachers? Like, cause I ain't never seen it like that. When I was a teenager, we wasn't trying to fight our teachers. You
was at Wyoming.
I had the bad.
Man, let me tell you something. I saw Hughes fight so bad. Shout out to Cease. Everybody that has Cease. Shout out to Cease. I had a fight so bad in the communications department. We weren't allowed to use a pencil sharpener because a girl took a pencil sharpener and banged it against a girl's face, and her whole face was open. And she took a stapler and other thing. They took out all the stuff. We had to sharpen our pencil with the thing like this because we wasn't allowed to have the electronic.
She did that to a teacher or to a student?
She did it to a student, but when the teacher tried to jump in, she threw her Miss Darty ass to the left too. Until you know what I'm saying, the security guard, everybody know our security guard, he ran and broke it up. But like
I need to step my tax bracket up, y'all. I'm gonna start a GoFundMe so my family can move to Wyoming.
Let me tell you, teachers and students, a lot of the time, especially at Hughes, when I was there before I got kicked out, don't judge me. They didn't put hands on teachers they respected. It just didn't happen. A lot of students did not ever put their hands on teachers they respected. I don't care how mad they were. I think a lot of the videos we see, them kids already had a beef with that teacher. I feel like when there's a rapport with a student, they're not trying to attack you. Not to say it's okay, but we were very violent all the time. Jay Mill was on the bus with us when some girl got jumped by the whole Winton Terrace bus. Throwing her out.
Y'all, did y'all see this in y'all school? Let me know, because this is new.
No, because Toya because I ended up graduating on the Jesus level. Toya was at Roger Bacon.
Yeah, you know what?
She probably didn't either. But Jay Mill, though, was a Jacob Center, Muda Aiken. So, you know, it's a lot of inner city ones that be like, okay, that happens. And I think we kind of take it a little calmer because we are used to that level of violence, for sure.
Okay. Well, you know what? Moving on from that, let me give y'all the viral video of the week, right? I'm going to just show y'all this video real quick. It's a quick little clip. I want y'all to see this. We're going to go in real quick and have a little good giggle, and we're going to get into the hot topic. Wait, one more time. Uncle Ginuwine, one more time. Uncle Ginuwine. See,
Elgin. The tears I cried this week and the amount of playbacks I had to do. Elgin not gonna retire because I'm gonna stick beside him. Him, Lil' Kim, and the rest of them, because Lil' Kim was doing some more choreography. Like, I'm gonna stick beside him. I'm sticking beside all my OGs. I'm scared of Elgin gonna hurt himself. Like, I just want him. Why would you do that type of jump? You know what it reminded me of? Them hater assholes I got. You trying to take me out because you see that interpreter was trying to do a job. You trying to take him with you, though. You trying to take him.
Why he grabbed that interpreter? Just because you falling, don't try to take me with you.
Take me down with you. What really killed me is he is under the stage, and I like I like it. That's professionalism. You were singing under the stage. You were singing under the stage. I love it.
I was tripping that he tried to grab that man. I said, no, what are you doing?
I wonder did he sign he was about to fall? Like when he was filing, I wonder if he did that saying that's like, I'm gone, y'all. Before, but yeah, that was crazy.
The interpreter said not today. The interpreter said, get off me.
Not today, say you won't be taking me down under the hell with you, not today.
That's right. He kept saying because the show must go on. Y'all, I didn't keep the video where it kept going longer, but he did. He went out to the audience and started singing. Go ahead, Uncle G.
Listen, these young kids would never have that type of professionalism, honey. They still would have been under that stage. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I feel like that, then I would have needed an emergency, a PR. I needed like ambulance. I don't know if I could have got up and went to the stage. Y'all have thought I was Jamie Foxx. I wouldn't have popped the fuck out for months. You hear me? I'd have made y'all think that was life was over. I'd have been so embarrassed. I'd have been like, just take me home right now, Lord. Like, I'd have made a whole show about it. People would have been sending prayers up and cash apps before I came back out to that stage.
Yes, we are talking,
we talking about Elgin. We talking about same OG. Same OG. In them jeans, LG.
Latoya said the show over if I fall.
If I fall, you might as well just wrap it up because we're not doing anything. Because did you see me just fall? It's over. Grab your purse, get your camera phones, and go ahead and hit the exit stage and get in this traffic because ain't no show because I'm mad now. I'm embarrassed. I can't do it.
Not you mad. I would have been mad as an interpreter. You don't grab me because you fall. I'm gonna need you to touch me.
Period.
You fall alone.
Period. Period.
Okay, y'all. All right, so hot topics. Let's go. Let's talk about the new Pappy. Well, he's Robert Dinero. You know, he's a big time superstar, movie star. He's 79 years old, 79 years young, I'm sorry. And he just welcomed his 7th child. What do y'all feel about Pawpaw still making babies out here in these streets, y'all? Pawpaw is a daddy again. Okay, I'm sure this man has grandkids at this time. He probably has great grandchildren, but he's also a returned daddy again. So, what do y'all think about these men?
I'm gonna be honest. I stay out of clear people's business. Like I saw it, and it didn't do nothing to my spirit. I don't understand, nor is it meant for me to. I just stay out of clear people's business unless they're black adjacent, like you've been on a black show or I know you're like, but Robert, like if you like it, I love it. You're gonna possibly be dead by the time the kid finishes high school. You might not be on this planet. Like, do you understand what you just did?
Even when they get in elementary school, can they get the kindergarten? You might look 103. No shade.
No shade, but like, what soccer practices are you participating in, Dinero? What PTOs are you going to, Dinero? What graduation are you attending, Dinero? Like, I just don't understand why you would do that. I don't get it.
I wonder if it was oops, like does he have a young wife? Like you said, I stay out of clear folks' business, so I don't know deep down. I just know he old as hell and had a baby. So my father, my daughter was turning 4. My father had my youngest brother. Now my father was 50. And we talked about my dad like a dog because I was grown when I had my daughter. I wasn't like a teen or, nothing like that. I was an adult, the whole adult. He had 2 adult children. And you get a chick pregnant? Bruh, what are you doing? You are granddaddy now. How are you making children as granddaddy? So he was 50 and we was talking smack. So yeah, 79.
But he could still see your younger sister graduate and be less in age than Robert Dinero that started at 79.
Right.
Your sister graduated 23, 24, and he could probably make that, but just start. Like Betty White only made it to like 91. I think Harry Belafonte made it to like 90 something. Rosa made it to 96. Like I don't know what you have. I don't know what the Lord has in store for you. I don't know. I don't even know if I want to be around that long. To be honest, like to be around for 100. All y'all dead with me. Like I'm the only one here for my generation. I don't know. That's just odd to me. To be changing and starting over at 79. I'm getting ready to meet in yonder. I'm minding my business, going on vacations. I'm supposed to be the Golden Girls. I'm supposed to be in Florida. I ready to die. I've been ready to die at that point. I don't understand.
So for me, like when we were making fun of my dad, it was not planned. My dad had been done with children. So he even said, what the hell? Like himself at 50. Because at 50, he was retired. His children were adults. He was not paying child support. Like he started all the way over, you know what I mean? When he should be like enjoying his grandkids and his retired life. So for somebody that's doing it at 79,
I would have had to get that. Listen, me and God would have been playing tag with that little kid. I don't even do abortions, but that 79, I'd have said tag God you it, because they back on their way up there. Ain't no way I'm starting back over at no goddamn 79. Absolutely. But luckily for me, my eggs would be fried, dyed, and laid to the side by then. But I can't imagine starting over at no 70. It's just not
no.
That little person ain't gonna ever touch this planet.
Okay, so listen, y'all. There is new topic. There is, we were during the COVID Verzuz, the little Verzuz thing got really big, right? And one thing that people kept hinting at or wanting or requesting was a battle between Miss Jennifer Hudson.
I never read that. I don't. Who said that? I didn't ask for that. Who said that?
A lot of people was asking for it because I was fighting these people like online, y'all. My Twitter fingers was heavy, telling them what are y'all talking about. So it's come back up. They're going to do another Verzuz season, and Jennifer Hudson, who now has her own talk show, had an interview, and let's just watch this clip.
We gotta get down to business.
Big business.
We gotta talk about the Verzuz. Y'all watch Verzuz during the pandemic? Do you know how that saved my entire life? That was like the concert that we got to go to.
Yes.
Oh my God, we couldn't wait to get to it. Thank y'all for creating that.
Thank you.
It's so amazing.
Thank you. We're not done.
So, when is the next season happening?
Soon as you and Fantasia sign the contract.
Hey, that's what y'all want? I mean, Miss Fantasia done shot a whole movie, which is coming. I'm excited about when she done with that. And after I'm done here at the Happy Place, we may get to do that.
Let's do it.
Okay, we'll see.
I don't want that. I don't recall anybody. I remember seeing Chris Brown and Usher.
Yeah, they said
I remember. Like, I never saw nobody say Fantasia versus anybody. I love Jennifer and I love her show. I don't know a song that can top Baby Mama from Fantasia. I don't know a song that can top Stand Up There in My Window.
When I see
I don't know a song that truth is. I don't know a song. I don't know a song in her catalog. I don't know. You know what? If they like it, I love it. I'll watch for Fantasia because she gonna take her shoes off, and when that happens, the lights out. Because when she did, she gonna sing her under a table. She gonna sing
okay, so here's the thing, right? Let me go, because y'all know I am one of the presidents of the Fantasia fan club. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this for y'all real quick. So I think when I told y'all my Twitter fingers was heavy, people were trying to make it a sing-off, right? And not Verzuz, because Verzuz is hit for hit. Let's just be clear what Verzuz is. You play your hit song, and we see which song wins. That's what Verzuz is. But they were trying to do a sing-off. Like, oh, well, Jennifer, she sings, da, 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 da. And I was like, okay, y'all, listen, I understand what y'all trying to say. But Jennifer and Fantasia already had a sing-off. They were on a show, and the show was called American Idol Season 3. You see this show right here? Y'all see that show?
Who won that season if they forgot?
Fantasia won that show. So when it comes to the sing-off, Fantasia's already won that Verzuz, okay? And then if we're gonna talk about an actual hit for hit, name a Jennifer Hudson hit. Come on.
I got one. This how she gonna get y'all. No way. She gonna go to Dream Girl. I'm living without you.
One song.
She gonna go Curtis. Baby.
She's gonna have to do the Dream Girl and the Aretha Franklin soundtrack, because the only song Jennifer Hudson has that people know is Spotlight. You can name other songs of hers that she got, but y'all people don't know them songs. And we talking hits. I'm not talking it's your favorite song. Like Jennifer Hudson.
And Think Like a Man from the Think Like a Man soundtrack. And act like Think Like a Man featuring Neo. Your love. That was a cute little bop.
Exactly. How big is her catalog? So I wanted to make sure y'all understood that your girl is definitely the president of the fan club.
That's fan. Listen, period.
I
don't mind a Fantasia concert.
We're gonna play about my friend Fantasia. So one of my TikTok people that I follow made a very nice video. I wanted to show it just to shut it down so we can get over this. Y'all need to stop doing it because people that are Jennifer Hudson fans, y'all really gonna embarrass yourself if y'all keep playing this game.
This about to be a Fantasia concert, and I'm still here for it.
Now, if it's just a sister, like an American Idol reunion, sisters loving on each other, like, hey, let's support, let's sing something, let's collab, that's cool. But a versus is not going to work.
Listen,
so check
I like Jennifer Hudson, but if they did a versus between Jennifer Hudson and Fantasia, what is Jennifer Hudson going to sing? Krusty Krab. Well, she gonna give us a little Effie White. It would be embarrassing. Fantasia would be doing her whole album and everybody would know all the lyrics. Jennifer Hudson would be like, I can sing Spotlight or I can give you a little Aretha. What you want? Just because they were both on American Idol does not mean that they need to be compared. And there are a certain kind of people that always try to act like Jennifer Hudson is more successful than Fantasia. And in some aspects, maybe she is. Jennifer Hudson is more of an actor than Fantasia. Jennifer Hudson has a daytime talk show and I feel like Fantasia would have more of like the Monique show. It would be late night. She would have a live band and she would be screaming. Or she would have like a Bible study infomercial. They have two different careers and two different visions for their careers, so it's no reason to be compared. Especially with Verzuz, because I'm not sure what Jennifer Hudson will be doing. Fantasia would be taking off her shoes. Yeah, 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 yeah. It will become a Fantasia concert featuring Jennifer Hudson.
I ain't never seen that TikTok. Let me just say that here. The footage y'all saw, I saw it at the same time. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he said what I just said, we gonna touch and agree. That's not what we asked for. You know what I want to see on Verzuz? You know what I want to see? Hear me out. I would love New Edition versus New Edition. Like, I would love a New Edition versus Belle Biv and DeVoe versus Johnny Gill versus Bobby. Because can't nobody touch New Edition. I would like a New Edition versus them goddamn selves. That's what I would love to see. Where I could get like all they hits and they break up and they come down. I would love New Edition to battle they damn selves. Come together, break apart, everybody seeing anything. I'm waiting on Swiss to give me New Edition versus themselves. I would love to see New Edition versus themselves. I'm just waiting.
That would be interesting. That would be, you
know,
that
would be the bomb. Like that, because no one can compete with New Edition. Nobody. There's nobody that can compete with them as a group. So I would like to see them compete kind of within each other because they've had groups, sub careers, all of that, all of them. I would love to see them all do a New Edition versus with themselves and watch us get our life.
As we would. Yeah.
And we can like compare the catalogs that Bobby Brown or Johnny Gill have a better catalog. Old edition versus newer edition when they were older. Which one was the better catalog? Like we can go hip from hip for that. But I would love to see the New Edition.
Who's the winner? How do we win?
I don't know. That's why I would love to see that because that's one that people wouldn't automatically, like we just did with Fantasia and Jennifer Hudson. It would be something we wouldn't be able to really. We would have to see it. We wouldn't really know as they go back in the vote. Like, damn, I don't know. I feel like that would split everybody about who had individual better projects and what songs versus old versus new catalog was the hit. I would love to see everybody.
Well, I know who would not win solo wise. Ralph would not win.
Ralph would not. But we still want to let Ralph come to the stage. But like Bobby Brown versus Johnny Gill.
Yes.
I would like to see that. And Belle Biv DeVoe versus New Edition with Poison. I would like to see. Like I would love to see that because Poison was such a big. That's a big hit that I would love to see it. I would love
honestly, that would just be a big New Edition concert for us where they come in, do their own singles, and we're here for it.
And
I do think Verzuz is gonna have to flip up the competition part and give us just shows and concerts. They're really gonna.
I think so as well. I think we're running out of people that are in the same time frame and same music bracket. Like people want to see Usher and Chris Brown, but Usher started in the 90s and Chris Brown started in the early 2000s. Like I don't think that's a fair comparison than Chris Brown versus Trey Songz. Even though Chris Brown would eat Trey Songz up, I still think that would be more of a closer thing. So I don't know, but they are gonna have to do something a little bit different.
Okay, so we said, I just want straight tracks. I don't want to see Uncle Bobby wheezing on stage. I love when Uncle Bobby was up there.
I want to see it. I want to see him. I want to see Uncle. I want to see Bobby. I want to see Bobby wheezing.
I want to see him dancing. It makes me feel good to see Uncle Bobby still doing it.
I love to see. If I saw Elgin fall off stage and sing underneath here, I want to hear Bobby wheeze. I do. I want to laugh and hear Bobby wheeze. I do. I would love it. Somebody send this video.
One of my favorite verses was Bobby versus Keith Sweat. And I love Bobby. I was team Bobby. And I love Keith Sweat. But I like that Bobby was up there dancing and trying to, still have it. So I was like,
what was your favorite verses during pandemic that you watched? What was your favorite one? And tell us in the comments too. What was your favorite
verses?
And if you don't have your favorite, give me your favorite top two. Favorite top two.
Okay. I think Jill Scott and Erica. Like
that was a whole vibe, wasn't it? We were singing in them comments. Having a good time in them comments.
Listen, I lit incense. Girl, I was sitting in my room vibing out. My baby was still a little baby at the time. And he was chilling. I was chilling. I was like, yes. Oh, it was such a vibe. Hi, sugar. So yeah, it was such a vibe. And I think my second favorite was Gladys and Patty. I got my life to the aunties. I got my whole life.
Aunties was great, but my favorite second, I'm gonna put Erica and Jill on there because I've seen them both live, both together. I loved everything about that Shea Butter incense concert, everything about it, because I want to sleep with both of them. So everything I loved about it. My second, y'all, had to be Babyface.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Listen, I'm a Teddy Riley fan.
So Teddy motherfucking Riley. When he had the hands on his hips because the band and stuff, that was my favorite one. Then we got the part, and then Babyface was like, "Oh, did you sing that song, or is that a remix? I don't do remixes." And he just had the guitar and that was my absolute favorite two verses. And then the third, which is honorable mention, would have to be Ray J. Who I've never cried.
I'm gonna let y'all keep Ray J. That's when it was like, okay, it's over. Versus is over.
I've never cried so hard during the verses in my life. Oh my God, that had to be one of the worst
music for me. That was not for the music. Like when Teddy and Babyface did it, I gave grace to Teddy. Okay, y'all got these men, these uncles out here doing social media, trying to do technology.
Ready and the band was ready.
And I love Teddy Riley. Like whenever they say Teddy Riley in concert, either he with Blackstreet, or he with Guy. Like I'm going because I love TeddyRiley. So I was here.
That was my favorite part one.
Yeah, I did. I loved it.
It was just great. I love to hear their voices. I love Babyface. But as far as honorable mention, as far as one of the worst vocal had to have been the Ray J and them verses.
Oh my God. That made me mad because Ray J can sing. I was like, what are you doing?
Brandy looked so disappointed because Brandy's the vocal Bible. She looked like she was.
No way, her verse. Now listen, B Rocker's verses with Monica was dope too.
I loved it. I know Brandy was so mad.
Really good moments, y'all. Verses gave us some good stuff.
They did give us good stuff, but that was my top.
And I should have said Brandy. I know if y'all know me, I grew up. Brandy was my Fantasia when I grew up. Okay, I love Brandy. So you was either a Brandy or a Monica girl. So it was funny how like some of my friends was Brandy, some was Monica. So we had like you had your shirt. I had me a Brandy shirt for that verse. I was not playing.
So before we move on, this is my last question. You in the comments, what verses do you really want to see? Because nobody asked for this Jennifer Hudson Fantasia, and ain't nobody lying to me about it. What is the verses you want to see? Mine was the New Edition verses themselves. What is your verses that you are like, oh, I would really love to see them?
Because what I wanted, I wanted a Brandy versus Monica. Like I kept saying it and they did it. I was like, because I didn't think Monica would do it. You know what I'm saying? Like I did not think Monica was going to agree to that.
I have one that I think is untraditional, but the catalogs and
girls, I'm talking about me.
I would love to see Busta Rhymes versus Missy Elliott.
Ooh.
Because they had, remember, similar videos. Like, I just feel like if somebody could go for Missy and catalogs and things like that, because Missy is outstanding. And they're so creative. I feel like we would have such a creative versus. They probably would tell Swiss we need a whole different set. I would love to see the Brown and Missy, bitch, you lied. Look at that comment. Christina Aguilera versus Britney Spears. Ain't nobody listening to that. The Brat and Missy, use a whole damn lie. The Brat Tat Tat, not and Missy, not versus Missy. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't think that's mad right now. Y'all know 3 songs from the Brat Tat Tat. Y'all's a goddamn lie. But Missy
writes music for singers. So you know how they be having features, having people come out. Missy could have Monica come out and sing "So Gone." She could have Fantasia come out and sing "Free Yourself." Like she could have all this other stuff that in her catalog that the Brat don't have. So I don't know if that's fair.
I think that would be great, and I think they should give them creative freedom of how they want to perform it, and I think it would be amazing. I would love, because I just don't think, I know Jay is really holding on to the Brat Tat Tat, but Missy also wrote songs, and they put in the songs they wrote as well. It's not touching it. The Brat Tat Tat is not touching Missy. That would
I love the Brat, so we can figure out a way to get the Brat. Maybe the Brat. Who could the Brat go again?
The Brat, who is the Brat? Eve.
Yeah, I was gonna say Eve.
Eve. The Brat versus Eve.
Didn't Eve have a versus?
First of all, I honestly don't even want to see. I'm gonna be honest. I don't want to see the Brat or Eve. I did want to see Lil' Kim versus Trina. I did want to see that. I did want to see that type of verse.
That's why I said I personally think the versus part is over. And I like the idea of a show. Like, give me a show.
I want a show at this point. And I would really want to see Missy and Busta, because they have a song together. They have a couple of songs. I think Missy was on Touch It remix, and they had another song together too. And I would love for them to close out with their collaboration songs. I don't really look at it as a versus, but just creatively, if they would let them do what they do best, I think it would be an amazing versus show. Melissa, if you see this, can you make that happen, please, my cancer sister?
Or they can like get the people that beef and make them do hit for hit type of thing.
I think they were trying to do that with Lil' Kim and Nicki Minaj.
Yeah, they could have did that. Little Kim and Nicki Minaj.
I think that's in the works to try to put them
or Cardi B and Nicki Minaj.
Absolutely not. The stands is not ready. Let's just focus on Lil' Kim and Nicki. I'm not about to see Barbie gang and then them goddamn Barbies battle it out on the internet because Nicki feeds into that shit. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it yet. They're not ready. They don't even like each other. It's not happening.
A lot of beats. We could do Nas versus Jay-Z. We can do.
Jay-Z ain't got the time. He might because it's Swiss. Yeah. But honestly, I don't think I want to see Nas and Jay-Z. I think I would want to see Jay-Z versus Lil Wayne, because that's always been a debate about who's the greatest rapper alive, Jay-Z or Lil Wayne. I would like to see them
going on for straight beef, like straight beefs. We got all these beefs that have been going on for years. Maybe we can get the beefs over.
No, I think Nas and Jay-Z been good because Nas signed over to Jay-Z. Like, I think their beef is squashed, done in the water. If Jay-Z battles, I think I would want to see him versus Lil Wayne. I think that's the only one that can really come into his candle, for sure.
Or Nicki versus
Tasha K. Or shit, Cardi B versus her employee, Tasha K. Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, I think would be good. But I don't know, because somebody made a great point, the 504, but I don't know. Lil Wayne would only have to start with his personal catalog. You can't go back. I don't know. But that'd be good. That'd be so good. Jay-Z, if you listed Jay Wayne, I would love to see y'all go head to head. I would love to see Kendrick versus J. Cole. Kendrick and J. Cole is a great debate. I would love to see them too.
Yeah. So again, if y'all want to keep it going, those are some suggestions. Let's go into this other hot topic. So Kim Zolciak of Housewives of Atlanta, she is filed for divorce. Well, I actually read today that they both filed for divorce against each other. So Kim and Kroy are getting divorced. Now we know months ago it was like stuff in the blogs talking about how their house was up for foreclosure, that they had all this tax they didn't pay, and she was like, I mean, yeah, right, I'm not gonna lose my house. I bet I'm gonna be there for Christmas. I'm not gonna lose. And then it said it was over like $250,000. So supposedly they paid that, they worked that out, that got paid, but when there's smoke, there's fire, and now we're seeing a divorce. So it seems like, to me, once they start having money issues and it became an issue and money dried up, now Kim wants a divorce. Of course, she done got 4 babies that are like under the age of 10, and now you and your wig decide you want to leave Big Booty Kroy because he's not playing football no more. Like,
or has a job. I don't think Kroy's ever had a job after football.
After football,
I never recall them like him talking about investment. Like I didn't watch Tardy for the Party. I never watched it. I only watched her on Housewives, but I don't recall. Kenya told us Kroy didn't have a job a couple seasons ago. I don't think he's ever had a job since. And I've never been a fan of Kim ever. I've never been a fan of her. Even when she was friends with Nene on Housewives, I've never been a fan of Kim. And it only got worse as time went on. This feels like karma. I can't say it for sure, but it feels like what's supposed to happen, that you're supposed to be broke. Now, I do want to know why they filed against each other. That just seemed like a waste of
and it seems like they both want custody of those 4 kids.
I say give them to Kroy.
I do too. I say give them to Kroy.
You already sucked his youth out. Give him babies down. You already made him adopt your 2 grown daughters.
Yeah.
When you met him, let that man have them damn babies. And you and your wig move on. She only want them babies probably for a check, allegedly. Let Kroy have them babies. Maybe it's an IRS divorce. Or you know what? Maybe it's a PR scheme and they're going to file. I don't know why they just won't file bankruptcy. I don't understand.
You know what? She's probably shopping to get back on the Housewives again. You know what I'm saying? She's going to reach out to Andy. Like, look, this is a storyline.
That's what I said. It kind of, I don't know if this might be a PR stunt to get back on. I think they should also file bankruptcy. Then you only got to worry about the IRS because you can't put them on your bankruptcy. But you can work out a payment plan while still getting a check from Housewives. So I'm not really sure yet if this is really real.
Oh, you said go back to Ray J. So yeah, I did hear that Ray J is losing his CEO position of. I thought it was called Zeus, but I read some other name of the company, and they gave it to Chris. Is it Milan? Was it Christopher Milan? Is that how you say his name?
He was the CEO of Zeus Network. I thought it was that other guy. No, he said it's something else. Doge. Is this with the scooter bikes, or is that different? I don't know.
No, it's like a TV. It's like a streaming thing.
And he lost that.
Yeah, and they said, I guess they felt like he wasn't bringing in the money he said he was going to bring. I think they thought he was like spending money. But Ray J had money from like the scooty bikes and the Ray things. It ain't like he was
wild it. Y'all be letting these people tell you something that might not be true. Now, I ain't never seen nobody post that. I don't even know where to buy them. I'm not saying nobody did, but who bought them? Who bought them goddamn scooty bikes?
Not the scooty bikes, the earbuds. I know those things sell. I know a lot of people with those things, and they're expensive too. Because I was like, "Damn, what you think you are?"
I don't know.
I see how much they cost.
The
little ear things, the Ray. What are they called? The Ray something? Chat. I don't. Okay, it's the new Zeus. It's the new Zeus. Yeah, Dosh is trying to be Zeus. Okay, yeah, Raycon. Yeah, so I know he has money off of that. Ray J. Like, if you look up his network, he's worth money. He has money. So
why would he still getting the royalty checks from Moesha?
No, he wasn't. First of all, he only came the last season. Okay.
A check is a check is a check.
Dorian is the reason Moesha got canceled. Okay. That's the reason. So they could have kept Ray J off because I love Ray J. I used to have a crush on him.
It says allegedly his net worth is it's 2 different ones. One says 14 million and one says 20 million. So and one says 16 million. So we know that he's at least in the double digits of millions. We can probably safely say that. Somebody bought the scooter company, but he still gets royalties. Again, however he live it, however he get it. God bless Ray J and his journey. God bless him in his journey. I don't give a goddamn. God bless him in his journey.
Okay, y'all, let's just go into this. Did y'all hear about this fight? Did y'all hear about this fight in Vegas? So, because I was seeing it all over the social medias.
Okay? I don't believe it.
Everywhere. But I was like, what? Like, I was just so lost. So then it took Tasha K to do a video. I saw
you don't stop calling her the wrong Tasha K, Cardi B's employee. Put her status on there. Yes. Cardi B's employee. Tasha K.
This is one of the videos that was about to get garnished by Miss Cardi, but she was explaining. And again, y'all know I told y'all last week when it comes to Tasha K, I'll be kind of like, I don't know, but other people report the same thing. that what happened allegedly was Usher threw a birthday party for Chris Brown in Vegas, and Teyana Taylor was there. And supposedly Chris Brown has an issue with Teyana Taylor because she pulled out of a performance at an award show, and it made him get totally canceled. I guess he feels like it triggered them just saying, okay, well, you're not going to perform without Chris Brown because you don't have these guests that was going to do it with you now. We don't want you. You know, they still been like kind of, they got him blacklisted from the Rihanna situation. So they was like, yeah, you can't perform. So because Teyana Taylor was at that party and Chris Brown was lit, he saw her, he was like, oh, no, and it was like trying to start stuff. And they said Usher was like, hey, wait, I invited her. Hold on, bro. And someone from Chris Brown's camp snuck Usher. That is the alleged story. Don't know if it's true. But if it is true, they are so damn disrespectful to put your hands on Usher.
I don't believe it. I didn't believe it when I read it. I'm gonna be honest. Now, Chris slap him down, Brown. I'm not gonna say when he might not get a little tussly. Yeah. But first, Hollywood Unlocked Jason Lee was the first to break the story. Now, remember, Jason Lee was the same one that told us the queen died before they died. So Jason Lee is one of them ones that I don't know. But then TMZ picked it up, and they only had a screenshot of them talking. It didn't even look like they was arguing. My main thing I don't believe it is nobody got no footage. Yeah. Nobody got no footage. You can't tell me all these people here, but we got footage of Tory Lanez and what's his name, and then Usher that night had a picture and his nose looked fine. So I don't believe that happened. I do believe there may have been a little discourse, like why did you invite her? But I don't believe it turned into nothing physical. I don't believe it escalated to that point. But there might have been some truth in it as far as maybe he didn't like Teyana Taylor being there, which again, I don't understand why, because if you got canceled, what was Teyana Taylor? How was that going to improve you? Like nothing makes sense about it. It just, I don't really believe it. I just don't.
Yeah, I would hope that wouldn't happen. Yeah, I'm trying to just say no. You know what I mean? In my mind, no. Come on,
all this time and we still ain't got no footage. I don't. We got a screenshot to them talking. I don't believe it. Nobody said anything. Usher went live. He went on stage that night. He don't look bruised. He don't look anything. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it.
She won't get mine either. I was about to ask you, Perez, have you subscribed to her app so I can get your code? Because I don't pay for that. I'm not doing that.
I'm not paying for Tasha K because her credibility is a little shot for me. So I'm not interested in what Tasha K is pouring out to ever pay for the app. I think she needs to rebuild her credibility for me as far as blogging. And it's not to say I won't forgive her for what she did with Cardi B. I just need to see some more content that stick like grits, and that she's being more credible in the way that she blogs for me.
I do like when she does interviews. I really do like her interviews when she has people.
Sometimes I like them. Sometimes I like her sit downs. I think she does do pretty well with her sit downs for the most part. It's just the type of story she picks and things like that. I don't know. I just need to see some more credibility. Hopefully now that she has to pay her boss, there'll be some rebranding and the way that she gives us the stories. But I honestly, like, you know, you put it on there, but I wouldn't even have really reported on this because there's not enough proof for me to really stand 10 toes down and have an opinion. Like all y'all have is a screenshot. Y'all don't really have anything else to say that this is even plausible for me. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even at 1 million, she got 1 million subscribers. I would not have picked this story because there's not enough information for me to really formulate an opinion because y'all ain't got no footage or nothing.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah. That's why everything for me was alleged. And again, you got to take, they performed the next day. They had the lovers and friend, thing. So it wasn't like, oh, F him, he can't be on my show. So I don't know.
I wouldn't have done that on a professional level because contracts were signed and other things. So unless there was a clause, I wouldn't have pulled him out of the show because people also came to see Chris Brown. But there would have been some scarring. Y'all say he busted his nose or something. So his face would have been bruised if y'all said it was as bad as it was the night before. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it.
All right. Okay, well, y'all, that is Hot Topics. We got to do our reality TV show review because 2 shows is going on that both Karma and I have been watching So we're going to give it to y'all real quick before we let y'all get on with the rest of y'all day. We're going to start up with the Housewives of Atlanta. Being that Sunday, it just premiered. Did y'all watch it? Are y'all loving it? What y'all think? Y'all feeling it? Okay, so just quick, because I really don't want to go scene for scene because it wasn't enough like that. For me, it was just certain stuff that stuck out. Number one, Sheree and Martell. Yeah, anybody know Martell Holt is the ex-husband of Melody Sheree from from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Not a fan of his. He's dating Sheree now, of Housewives of Atlanta, allegedly, they say. And he was on the episode. He came in after having his photo shoot with his little tux on. She's there. They're talking and joking. Their chemistry is really weird. Like, it just seems like they're trying to prove something. Like, it doesn't seem like, like, what a kissing, what a hug, what a, like, ooh, hey, Dee, like, where that's at? I ain't seen none of it. So I was kind of just like, okay, are you guys acting for us? But one thing that did stand out to me, okay, Martell, gonna give you props because we will say you got a body, yada, yada, okay? She had him go change his clothes in the bedroom or whatever, took his shirt off, and I said, well, damn, Martell. Okay, and did you see it? Did you see it? I had to pause and rewind it like, well, shit. Okay, that's what Arian tripping over. Okay. Okay. Now I'm understanding what's going on here in these streets. All right. So, got to see a little print on Mr. Martell Holt in that episode. And then he was talking about how, she had a chef come in and cook, and he was thinking it was going to be a threesome. It was just a lot going on with that. I just don't think they're really together. Then we get Candi and the Candi Coated crew. We see Karma. Karma's back. And she meets up with, who was it? She met up with Kenya and
Don Juan was in that scene.
But yeah, they ain't really talking about nothing, though. We just saw the click. And y'all know me and Don Juan, I was irritated with him from the last show we was reviewing. So I don't even care about him. But she was talking to the Candi Coated click for a second. And then the girls from the Housewives came in. Damn, what's the athlete's name? I can't think of her name because I ain't watched last season. Sonya. And it was Sonya and Kenya, right? That were there. We see Candi's having some marital issues with Todd. She's not giving. I guess Todd is trying to write some movies or something, and Candi's not being very supportive.
Oh no, that wasn't Sonya. That was Moneta, the friend of Candy from last season. Them three was in the scene talking about that. Moneta from last season,
and that's Neo's ex-fiance,
correct?
Baby mama, correct?
Yeah.
So I like how she's on the show. I like her. I think she's going to be a good addition to the show. I don't really, Candi, girl, support your man because Todd's a good dude. Come on, Candi. I need you to support your man. That's all I can really say about that. With that situation.
Do you feel like Candi has given us the same storyline for the
yes. I've been said it was time for Candi to go. I've been saying it was time for Candi to go. Not because I don't like her, but because she gives nothing. Like
now, y'all not gonna play with candy pants like that. That y'all don't go too far, but she don't give y'all nothing. That's what pisses me off. Y'all be going too far with little candy pants. Candi gives you ensemble. Candi gives you Aunt Bertha. She gives you Joyce. She gives you Carmen. She gives you Don Juan. Like, even if you can't stand Don Juan has had interesting scenes over the season with going back and forth. Carmen and Joyce are
I would rather Candi just do her spinoff stuff for that, not for the Housewives. She's not giving us nothing as far as the Housewives, like collective. She definitely gives us something for the Old Lady Gang show. She gives us something for the Candy Factory, for the Candy Trip. The family reunion.
I think it only works on an ensemble class because if I'm going to be honest, if she could do that separately, then the last show wouldn't have been canceled before season 2, and that was the one with the OG.
I didn't even watch that.
I watched it, but it didn't get renewed for season 2, and I liked it. I liked it. It didn't get renewed for next season.
This proves the fact that didn't get the reviews that Kandi.
Because I don't think Kandi stands alone. I think Kandi's best in an ensemble. None of them hoes can stand alone. You don't want no spinoff of Kenya. You don't want no spinoff with Sheree. They are great as an ensemble. Kandi brings the housewives of what it should look like. Housewives should be luxurious. They should be working on things. They should have money. Nobody has the type of money Kandi has. Nobody has the type of business and accolades. So she gives the image of what you're supposed to be looking for. If I wanted regular everyday life, I'd have watched the Real World Road Rules reruns, right? I don't want. If I wanted to see everyday people, but Kandi gives you a good balance of the business and things like that, and her money is long. So I don't think you could take Kandi away from the ensemble. I
don't love her story-wise. I'm sorry, she does give money, she does give luxury, but story-wise, I'm over it.
I can agree with that. I do think I want something more from Kandi, but I do think that what she gives you is authentic. I think Kandi still working with the same shit.
If you say you want more, what can she give though? Like that's why I'm saying there's really nothing else for. That's like Cynthia. It was time for Cynthia to go because Cynthia couldn't give us no more. You know what I'm saying?
I will say this with Kandi, with her work-life balance, especially because we can see the work Kandi is doing with being nominated for a Tony and a Broadway performance. I feel like if Beyonce or somebody gave us a reality show, this is what it probably would look like. It would probably be a constant battle of work-life balance.
That's why Beyonce won't give us a reality show. That's why
I mean, they're private, but I do think there's an authenticity level with you don't figure this shit out in a season because it's entertaining for y'all. Like, I do think that Kandi gives authenticity, unlike She by Sheree.
True. I agree with that.
You know what I mean? So you may be tired of this storyline, but in real life, that's what it is. That's what it is. I'm still trying to figure this out. There's certain things I want. Ace is crying on the phone. Todd is saying I'm not saying like this is really what I'm dealing with though. And in a marriage and in real life, you may be in a season that's a couple of years of trying to figure shit out. And so Kandi ain't going nowhere. I'm so sorry. Kandi Pants is here to stay.
I mean, you know, you can keep her. They can let her go. Keep her. It won't affect me or phase me anyway. Like I said,
until they gone. People said that about a lot of people, like the people that hate Portia. Portia dumb, she don't bring nothing. But Portia brung an element that now that we got Sonya and Drew,
I like Portia. Like I did. I like Portia. I liked her until she got with Simon. When that happened, I was like, oh, hell.
She got with Simon. It wasn't the Underground Railroad could be a train and other
that was embarrassing.
I think that Portia's element, the comic relief, Portia being a little special. There was stuff about Portia that just worked with an ensemble cast. Let's just be honest.
She gave us the fashion. She gave
Portia worked in an ensemble cast, but people got sick of Portia. Just like you're gonna get sick of Kandi. Take Kandi off the show, and what is you looking at as well?
Well, you know, a lot of people say it's time for like a whole rethink or just
No, if you're gonna give me a whole new thing, then I would rather watch a whole new show. I need OGs there. I need some of those OGs there. So like Drew and Fedora are younger, but I don't want no new girl. Not on RHOA. RHOA is historic for having some OGs on the cast. I don't want a whole new cast shakeup. Absolutely not.
I miss Nene.
We all miss Nene and what she brought to the show. I noticed she need a check. I hope her and Bravo can work it out. I think Nene would have been a great addition to this season and last season and all the things that are going on. I wish Portia would come back, especially
what I like about Nene is Nene will tell the truth. Like Nene will be like, girl.
Nene will tell the truth.
Why you dating that boy that's on that other show that was doing that to that woman? And you see that woman, like she would have just gave it to her.
She would have gave it to Sheree, but Nene gives great one-liners, memes, everything else. Like she was just somebody that just was instant viral.
Yes.
I hope Nene come back too, and then I would be okay with 2 new people. But I would really like the cast to go back to Kenya, Nene. I would love for Portia to come back, and then give me Sheree, the bone carrier. I would love to see Marlo. As well, and then you can add one of them new people in and Kandi.
Now, Nene is toxic and Kenya is toxic. That's why you need a balance. If you don't have
balance,
need a balance. I need another toxic on over here to get with Kenya. Because sometimes
actually, you could take Drew and Sonya off. I would like to see what Moneta. For real, I would take 2 new people. I would like to see what Moneta brings and maybe somebody else. But the OGs, like I need, because Sheree, even though she never has a storyline, her storyline is continuous of penis. You know what? The biggest disappointment in Housewives after Phaedra for me, because Kim don't count. She was affirmative action for me. I think is Sheree. You've been on this season since season 1, and yes, you took breaks, but you got she by nothing. You have literally nothing but the same repair. You ain't had a good looking man since Martell, and that's why you so stuck on him. You have, for you to be 50 plus and still be in the same space that Martell would be somebody you're interested in. I'm very disappointed in you. I want Sheree to do better. I wanted Sheree, like you built this more manor that took you 25 years to build. And it's a beautiful house. But like, as far as like what you have going on, why didn't you get into fitness, Sheree? You got a banging body. I am very disappointed in Sheree as a housewife. She's the most disappointing. At least Nene like went on Glee and did other things. Cynthia had a modeling agency. Like Sheree is like the most accomplished housewife to me outside of Housewives.
So hey, guess what? Joggers.
You know what? When she said the site crashed because so many people came on, that's inefficient. That means that you weren't ready for it. You didn't even drop it after the finale last year. We had to wait for the like. You're never ready. You don't pay people, and you don't put did you see when it said $274 for that pink jogger that you can get at Fableg that Shein for little? Maybe before starting your own line, I would like for you to partner with Shein or Fabletics or something that goes with a fitness brand and do that first and then build off of that. But Sheree's a disappointment. And she's going to continue to be so this whole season. I can see it, her future for that.
Let's go into this scene. Sonya had a 40th birthday party for her husband. It was Harlem Nights theme. Everybody looked beautiful. There's this lady that is friends with, who's she friends with? Sonya, I don't know who that lady was. Courtney, what's her name? That was the lady that was just extra. She was upset because somebody had asked Kandi if they knew each other, and Kandi was like, I don't know her. And she gave a whole bunch in the scene. Girl, I was just like, are we trying to get a moment here? I just was like, why does it matter? Like, I was just so lost with that.
And that's why Kandi said she was going to headbutt the shit out of her. I think that Courtney's presence on episode 1 was not necessary.
At all.
Here's one thing about RHOA fans. We don't do change too well. It takes us a minute, especially if you take about I only watch 2 housewife shows, and that's the black ones. I don't watch the other franchises.
We here.
Well, I don't. I watch Beverly Hills for Garcelle just to see how racist they were going to be.
I didn't even watch them. I don't watch Garcelle. Didn't watch it.
I'm Issa Rae. I'm rooting for everybody black, so I watch Potomac and I watch RHOA.
Yep.
So the issue with us is when we have new women that come in and usher in. I hate when I feel like they are over the top. I hate trivial drama. For you to be that upset where it sounds like there was a miscommunication, like a telephone game.
And she came aggressively too. She approached her very aggressively. And it was
like, what are you looking for? Like, what are we doing here? Because in real life, real life, this shouldn't have been that. This should have been like, hey, I got a call or a text from such and such. And they made it seem to me like you were looking me up because you didn't maybe think that we ran in the same circles or just whatever, so I wanted to talk to you about. I feel like as adults, that's a real conversation. Yeah. You up here bobbling your head and doing all this extra stuff. Like, what are we doing?
Right. Yeah, it was a lot. I was just like, why? Stuff like that, it go out my mind because it was unnecessary. It was like, who are you? Why are you here? Why does this matter?
She gives me Giovanna.
Oh yes, I did not like Giovanna.
She's not gonna last. I give Courtney this season and she'll be gone. How did you feel about Marlo's scene with her nephews and them getting a life coach? How do you feel about Marlo's 2-second scene that that did you feel?
I feel like she was trying to save face because of last year with the whole kicking out the boys and sending them or whatever. So it was like, well, let me try to show you guys that I am maternal. I'm nurturing. I'm going to bring these boys in. We have a life coach. They're going because the boys was like helping her make tacos or whatever, like setting it up, like for a great auntie. Oh, we're just piecing.
Are you a fan of Orphan Annie? I'm sorry, Marlo.
I like her clothes.
I think she's a bomb dresser.
Yeah.
Do you think that Mowgli, because remember the movie Jungle Book, Mowgli was raised by wolves and bears and stuff. Do you think Mowgli deserved the peach? Are you interested?
No.
Me neither.
Look, definitely have to give us some type of storyline to get it. So I think with the nephews, that's a storyline.
Look at my pen. We can scratch Marlo out.
Okay. Take her out. You know what?
What about Sonya? Did you care about Sonya's family tree and all them people in her house and her sister telling her about she don't respect boundaries and stuff like that?
No. look, she's writing in this notebook, guys. So make sure you guys go to Karma's site and get these notebooks that she's writing in right now. She's taking her notes in her same one, match it. Yes.
I just making sure. Do you care about Sonya's family tree? Because they gave her sister a whole confessional. Do we care about that?
No.
Drew, did you know that Drew wasn't in this episode?
And that was crazy how her husband went to the party without her. What do you think about that? She was like, oh yeah, she's dealing with some stuff, some family stuff, like he not family.
So is Drew pertinent? Because if Ralph wouldn't have showed up, did you know Drew wasn't in the first episode?
I know she wasn't there.
I didn't know until I saw Ralph.
Yeah.
The way that the flow of the show went and like catching up to see what was happening, I didn't even notice Drew wasn't there. And so
don't scratch Drew off yet, because I do want to know what's happening with this divorce stuff.
So but that came out after the show was filmed.
I know.
That came out after the show was filmed, and they probably went back and did some confessionals, but that came out after RHOA wrapped.
So we already got some problems in there.
We already know the problems. Do
like
you
that
still
show
care?
They went ahead and foul. Hopefully we get that in there. I'm hoping. Otherwise, she gotta go. So can we put her like on the almost, like she almost out the door? We can get rid of Sonya. We can get rid of Marlo for sure. And Courtney don't even need to come in the door at all. So let's just go ahead and knock them out.
How did you feel about Kenya in this DM with Martell and her talking about it? How did you feel about that?
No receipts. She gonna open it up and there's nothing in there. That was just whack. Like, girl, you should have already.
But you do know you gotta approve stuff if you have it.
But if she was gonna mention it, she should already had it. Don't mention something when you don't have receipts to show.
That was a part of Kenya's story. Like, so Candy speak on and said that she actually did see like Kenya pull it up, hit approve, and the message was unsent. My thing is, how did you know then he was trying to talk to you? So what my thought process was, because I did see Carlos and Martell do this spiel, and then Carlos, being the RHOA fan that he is, also spoke to it and said that Martell just thanked her for saying nice stuff about him in the past. I will say this, ninjas find ways to slide in a DM. Thank you for the ad. I saw your notebook. How can I get it? Even though link in the bio. Like I knowing Martell's history, I believe Kenya. I just do. I don't even need a receipt. I believe, because everything about him and Sheree seems like he may have tried to see who would bite. Mm-hmm. And because Sheree, unfortunately, has a desperate aura about her, I think Sheree likes him way more than he likes her.
For sure.
For sure. I think it's very real for Sheree. Yeah. I think Sheree very much likes him because Sheree has a history. What Candy say? She went from community service to community penis. Sheree hasn't had a successful partner, and Sheree ain't judging you, sis, because I ain't either. I think the difference, though, Sheree, is that I would think that you would be growing more and finding and discovering what you deserve, and I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that. Martell is my age. You 50 plus or close to 50. Why are you talking to this little boy? With little bitty kids. Your kids is grown. You talking to somebody with little bitty kids.
Like 2-year-olds. 2-year-olds little.
Why? Why would you put yourself through that? Why?
5. So
did you think Kenya was wrong for bringing it up?
I think Kenya was trying to be messy to bring it up. She did not have receipts, so I don't feel like she should have brought it up. I don't think she was wrong. I think she's television, and Kenya's going to give us TV. I think it was messy. I think she was trying to be messy. I just wish she would have had some receipts. It would have hit better if she would have had like a screenshot, like something. And like, did she know what he was saying? Because she said he was in her DM. What if he went in her DM and he said, "Hello, I am trying to get on your show."
I'm thinking about my Instagram because somebody messaged me earlier today, and I could see some of it. That says like you need to reprove. So I don't know if it was like that. Like she could kind of see him come up, but she never approved the conversation, and so she never like went all the way in there to see everything he said. But I'm gonna say this: if I was personally Kenya, I wouldn't have said a damn thing to her. I might have told Mayetta and them, and bitch, you can see it on screen. But I wouldn't have said shit to her because honestly, the blogs were already out of him talking to other women in Atlanta, of him talking to his baby mama still. So if you like it, I love it. I personally wouldn't even have gotten that drama because if that didn't deter you, I just feel like I'm just cool and we're just.
She was on the whole show. Sheree said she watched the show, so she know what kind of dude she with. She don't need your DM to know what kind of.
I wouldn't have said nothing to her.
And I'm sure Ariana, the baby mama. I'm sure the baby mama has tried to call Sheree. Okay.
And Sheree is going to make an appearance in Love and Marriage Huntsville. So I just feel like if you watched the show and you saw how he terrorized his ex-wife and his habitual cheating and the shit he does on social media, and you still think he's a good guy despite what we see, if you like it, I love it.
That's hers. Yeah, let her have it. Let her have it. Focus on yourself.
But I hate it. How did you feel about Martell saying to Sheree in the earlier scene that Todd was an opportunist?
I feel like he should be a man and not get in female business. That's one thing we don't like on RHOA.
Well, in his defense, Kandi ended up saying that with Shamia in an interview prior that Martell seemed like an opportunist. So his response was she would know because that's her husband. So did you feel like that comment was warranted because Kandi said something first with Shamia?
No, I don't. Again, I feel like he was getting into women's shade. Todd said nothing about you, so I say something about him because you attacking Todd. Todd has proven himself, y'all. Like we still gotta do this.
I feel like people don't give Todd enough credit.
They don't.
Todd was a producer on RHOA and quit because he wanted Kandi. Todd produced Encore. Todd produced R&B Divas Hollywood. Todd was already an established producer. OLG Gang was Todd's idea.
Yeah, Todd is the driving force behind OLG, the restaurant, and Blaze, the restaurant.
And
the reason Kandi also play that was going, Todd was behind that play. Like Todd has put Kandi onto a lot of stuff and made her catalog even bigger. So if they were to the divorce, she can't say you didn't do anything to help me because he's helped her a great deal.
I think what people forget is that I think especially the way that Todd has moved over all these seasons, and we've never had a cheating allegation besides what Portia tried to put out there that ain't hold no weight. I think Todd has understood the assignment with you using, I'm using that in air quotes because they're married, so they're building together. But Todd understands his wife's influence and likability, and he works behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So yes, if something is out there, it's Kandi and Todd. Kandi's name is always first, but she's always been in the forefront. But I think Todd does an excellent job in being the driving force of their projects. And that's not the same, Martell, because we'll get into that with Love and Marriage Huntsville, but it's not the same, Martell. You don't have anything going on. You came in with an Easter egg suit on from Upscale magazine, and I don't understand why you were able to take that motherfucking suit home with you. Ain't most photo shoots you put it on and take it off?
Yeah.
So you came with your, I You heard of Upscale? Have you heard of Upscale magazine? Have you heard of it?
I have.
I've
seen
it. I haven't heard of it. I don't know what that
I have. I've seen like covers like on social media of other people.
You read it? Yeah. Was that something in the store when we used to go buy
magazines? No. I think it's one of them kinds that you gotta like order.
If it's not Essence or Vibe or Vogue, he has nothing going on. He has nothing.
So they kind of got into it. Anyway, next show.
Okay, before you go on, how would you rate the premiere? Would you give it, if you had to give it an A through F, how would you rate the premiere?
Can I give it an average, like a C? It was average. It wasn't like, I ain't get like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? I'm gonna watch it now because I'm doing this with you. I did not watch any episode last season of Housewives, and I normally watch every one.
Unfortunately, I did. I've kept up. I'm up to date.
The only season I didn't watch was last season, and I still have yet. And I DVR'd it. I just never felt like watching it.
It's nothing to miss. It's nothing to miss. I'm gonna give it, and I'm comparing this to season 14. We'll never get its peak of season like 5 through 9.
Right. Them are good ones. Okay.
But I'm gonna give it an A for this factor. I am, because of this, and I can speak to it. I'm gonna give it an A because the crossover of Love and Marriage Huntsville to RHOA was already interesting, even though if it may be manufactured or not, I don't know. But the fact that you dated Martell, and if you watch that, I thought it was a great entertainment move anytime we see a crossover of two reality shows.
It's a good way to get fans back into Housewives, because Love and Marriage Huntsville definitely has fans, right? Like, we stay on that because it's an all year
long. They do, but I don't know if it's the same fan base. I don't know if a lot of people from Love and Marriage Huntsville, just because of the premise of that show, crosses over to RHOA or not. I don't know how many of that demographic does. So I think this was really good in a sense of that. I think that Candi coming off of SWV and Escape and her being on 100, I think this is going to make it an interesting dynamic, because we ain't seen this Candi since like season 5 at that pillow talk when she was all up in Cynthia's sister's face. I headbutt you, bitch. So I think people are activated and it's not manufactured as far as the conflict. And I think Marlo also, pushes the button as well. So I think I feel like this was a really good start to what's going to come.
I'll give it a B-, and I'll give it a B-. I'm gonna go because I heard your argument, so I'm gonna take it from a C. Still gonna get a B- because of the Martell thing. Because I really feel like the only reason that I was trying to see this season, because I didn't watch last season.
If Sheree and like Martell's chemistry was real,
I
feel like it's more interesting to see where the season plays out. So I think this was a pretty good premiere. Yeah. And I do like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Saya's family dynamic is an interesting storyline for me. Like, I don't have to have it, but I like it.
Show me them bedrooms. How are all them people there? And
I don't know. And then we know Drew filed for divorce, so we know she's gotta. We're gonna at least see how it ends up to that. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna say this was a good landscape for RHOA season 15.
Somebody's supposed to be coming back, a surprise person.
Girl, we already seen most of the trailer, girl. Kim Wig come back, like Cynthia come back. We're going to see the OGs come back. So I think this season is going to give what it's going to give.
We'll see. Good. I'll be hopeful. I'll be optimistic for you.
But tell people about Love, Marriage, Huntsville and Martell if they don't know about this.
Let's do this, y'all. Love and Marriage Huntsville is the show that is on the OWN network. Carlos King is a producer of the show, and this is where Martell Holt comes from. For the people that are wondering who the heck Sheree's man is, if you just like a RHOA fan and y'all seen Sheree walk in with this dude with this big body and this print, he's from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, so we watched that episode on Saturday, and just a few highlights for me, seriously. It started with Stormy and her husband. They was meeting in the warehouse with their crew. Somebody got fired. I don't care.
But do you feel like Stormy? Okay. Do you feel like Stormy is effective
No. No. But she got some money though, so she's doing something right. So I can't really like knock her, too much. They say most of her employees are family. When you're working with family, sometimes you're gonna have conflict. They're gonna take advantage and this, that, and the other. I like that her husband is like, it's business. Business is business. I don't care. We gotta do this business thing. But I guess I'm just, I don't know.
I don't like her husband in the business. I didn't like when she started the episode having an impromptu meeting. Yeah. That pissed me off right there because, bitch, I hate going to meetings as is, and then you got a meeting with no agenda, and that pisses me off as well. I hated everything about that meeting. You just talking, and you ain't really getting no points to your stat. I hated everything about that goddamn meeting. That we just standing here, ain't no snacks, bitch. I hated everything about it. I can't stand a meeting that don't serve coffee and fucking snacks.
I think the purpose of the meeting was to fire the cousin.
That meeting could have been an email about productivity. We didn't need to have you standing here. That's number one. Number two, I hate when a boss asks you, like, says things such as, this is where Courtney came in, if you don't like it, you can hit the door and go. Who the hell is you talking to like that? Like, if you want to motivate your staff into productivity and other things like that, I would be asking them about what's going on. You said y'all saw him on the phone and things like that. What's your cell phone policy? It just felt unprofessional. It felt like I was kicking it, was like, all right, y'all. I just hated the whole.
You can tell it was because it's family. Like they said, it's mostly family that's hired. So they probably didn't even have policies and all that kind of stuff because she's bringing family and friends in the business. So I don't know. I guess maybe the cousin just pissed somebody off, so they had to single him out and let him go. But and then
even with his firing, you fired your cousin on national television. Yeah. And I suppose you do not have all this money you got. You don't have a contract at HR. What are you firing him for? Because you're not feeling the vibe or because he's late? Where's the paperwork for him to say, get out of my face? Get out of my face.
There was a scene. He probably went to work the next day. It was a scene.
And that's what it felt like, because I feel like people who have at least been in corporate, if we're going to be fired, you should be having a paper written up of the reasons why I'm getting terminated, and I have the option to sign it or not with those policies highlighted. What are we talking about? This feels very manufactured, and then your husband come in and say all these different things. Stormy, you can keep it. I don't want it.
Do we need Stormy? Do we need to keep Stormy?
I think that Stormy, you know what I think, because I do follow Love and Marriage Huntsville. Well, I see a lot of bloggers that follow all the social media mess. I think that Stormy could be a wonderful addition to the show because she's very successful. And if you haven't watched Love and Marriage Huntsville, that's the premise of the show. We were supposed to be watching couples and people formulate their businesses as opposed to RHOA, where we're following individual storylines of whatever the hell. But we were supposed to get a lot of business up front. I do like that we're getting more business. I think Stormy, one, doesn't really understand the impact of this show. And unfortunately, once you put yourself on the screen, you also have to be likable for people to get your products. And I don't know if she's gotten in the pocket yet of figuring out how to navigate through this goddamn show.
I feel like she might mess up her business a little bit because a lot of people.
I do, because I don't think she gets it. Like, if you wanted us to see you in business mode, I needed you to have an agenda, some coffee, some talking to. I needed the paperwork to be there. If you were really going to do this and we were really going to follow you, we needed to see you in your business mode. And that, unfortunately, didn't happen. It sounded like you could have sent a group text file. I gave it back.
I'm trying to figure out, is it her company or is it her husband company? Like, because of the way the dynamic was. It was kind of like, he took over.
You can tell she's the heart and he's the muscle. You can tell that she wants to give people chances, and he's like,
nah, this is business. Right.
And I think that dynamic would definitely work because you kind of need that in the workplace. Because I'm the person who does have a heart. I'm not always the person, because I was a supervisor that always got mad over call-offs and things like that. And you do need a balance of it. But I just don't think it's displayed in a way in her favor. But I do think
people are not like
things in her favor. I do. I think she could be a great addition to the show.
Yeah, a lot of people are already not liking her, and then this next episode with her mama.
I think people don't like her because there are a lot of stan bases, and the fact that she's not Melody and her not in the best place at this moment in the show, I think that made people feel away, right? But I do think Stormi has a great thing to offer. I'm rooting for Stormi. I haven't bought her hair care products, but I barely got hair, and the little things I'm using works, okay? But I want her to win. I think there's something authentic in her story. I think she does bring something different. I think she just hasn't figured out how to translate it on camera.
Okay.
But she got more to offer than she by Sheree of nothing.
No, that's true.
You get what I'm saying? I think she has something in the pocket. She just got to figure it out.
Okay. But hurry up because they knock people off this show. So she better hurry up.
But after Sheree, we see Tisha and Marcel sitting in the vegan restaurant and all that. How did you feel about Tisha and Marcel and them, talking about possibly Slutty Vegan coming into Huntsville, about Kimmy and Maurice asking about payments.
So the Slutty Vegan thing is a really good business opportunity. I think it's smart. I think that was really good. And Huntsville is like an up and coming city. People are like coming, hearing about it, moving there. We're hearing about that. So yeah, it's definitely a nice move for Slutty Vegan to open up there. That was dope. I was liking that.
I love that.
I don't think that Marcel really understands, and Tisha understands what they're asking of people. Like you do, once you elevate and you grow, we can't do freebies no more. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then when they're talking about getting sponsors and getting money, so if you're going to get sponsors and you're going to make money, are you saying you're pocketing it and you want us to still work for free? Like, I understand what Kimmy is saying as well, because again, time is important. What are you wanting us to do? Like, you know what I mean?
I think their ask wouldn't have been as much if they were in a good place with Melody. But considering that y'all are just being cordial for the sake of the show, why the fuck did you think that she wanted to do something free for your event?
And you just
that would be a favor.
You say that her had mean spirit, she was a devil. You said some real
like that. I feel like that ask would have been something for a friend. Yeah. If my friends call me and say I'm doing an event to give back, they know that I would do it free of charge. But if I don't know you, right, and or if I'm not in a good space with you and you ask me that, then that looks a little different.
It's not even just that, because Kimmy was asking about payment as well. It's because Marcel is talking about profiting from this. You know what I'm saying? They are talking about profiting. At first, it was like, oh, we're going to give back to the communities. We're going to help them out. And now it was cute. But then when you start talking about getting money from people to make money, not donate it. Okay, so how is that going to go? That's what Kimmy is saying. Like, so what's going to happen with the money? Like, what is the,
I also didn't like that in their confessional, they try to say they got bit by a Holt and they're talking as if they're Holts. I think that Kimmy has always been, whether you like her or not, I think her questions and her balance is needed on the show.
Oh, God.
Now, do I feel like they be giving us Kimmy and Marcel's marital life? Absolutely the fuck not. Yeah. But, I don't really get into Kimmy and Marcel's business. They've been able to skate in a sense in that way. But I do think that Kimmy's question was valid. If you do get sponsorships, how is that going to look? I didn't like that Tisha wasn't prepared for that. If this was a brainstorming meeting, that last episode, it should have been said at that, that I don't have everything figured out. Mm-hmm. And maybe those questions would have been a little bit different, or that reception would have been a little bit different. But there was nothing wrong with Kimmy asking who's going to be paid, ma'am. What are you talking about?
And again, like Kimmy said, we're in a different space now, which they all are. Like, what's wrong with growth? Like, again, people are booked and busy. And if you want me to turn down money to be here for this event, how does this benefit me? What all do you need me to do? You know what I mean? Like, those are just questions. And Kimmy's still going, at the time she was going through radiation. Like, I'm not trying to be doing all of this. Like, for what? Like, I think it was a real valid question to ask. And the fact that he was like, I ain't paying nobody nothing. Oh, okay, then I'll just come and support
about Marcel is he said what he
said.
One thing I can appreciate about Marcel is that he's one of the most also authentic characters as well, because he said what he said. And I like that Marcel stands 10 toes down on, I'm not paying nobody. I love that he don't backtrack on shit.
Because it lets you know how to deal with it. It lets you know how to move forward. Okay, well, you know what? I'm not interested in participating. Like that lets me know how to, you know what I mean, how I'm going to respond. If you pull a Letitia, you know, I don't really know what I'm doing, you know, because she's like, well, what are you really up? Because she didn't know. Again, she did not have a plan. It was no plan set. And I think maybe Letitia and Marsau should discuss it a little further before they brought it to the group, because they truly did not seem like they had the same mindset on it anyway.
Well, even if they had, like I said, even if they had brought it to the group, I think the way that she had presented the PowerPoint last week, she should have explained to them this is a brainstorming meeting so people could understand. You know how this was a bullshit meeting. Nobody had no notepad or no notes or nothing. Like if you would have said this was a brainstorming meeting, I think people would have took more from it. But the way that you presented the idea was as if you had your shit together. You was telling us what was going to happen. So people sit there eating fucking cheese sticks and stuff or whatever and listen to what you're saying. If this was a brainstorm meeting, that should have been communicated. Kimmy would have had her notes. She would have been able to say, I think we should do this. I think we should do that. Or I want to give you my ideas once I understand what the payment portion is going to be. But you didn't.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out, because it doesn't seem like it's going to be a
Well, Marsau was on Carlos King's interview after the show, and they did say that this Black Expo does pan out. So we will
so we'll see it later.
And the ending of what that looks like with Tisha.
Okay, awesome. So Marsau gets with Martell, and they discuss some drama that's going on in Martell's life. Okay, Martell is talking about how the custody thing with Melody and his kids, and how first he's saying how, you know, things are actually getting a little bit better. So he was thinking about dropping the whole custody situation, because he says in there he never really wanted custody in the first place. He just didn't want her to have all these babysitters. This is what he said. So he was saying how, you know, birthday party coming up. It was just giving us predictions that the girls got a birthday party coming up, and he didn't get to see them last year for their birthday. He didn't get to see them for 56 days, you know, they're just like messing excited to get to go see them on their birthday. It was just a lot, like whatever. So what do you think about the Marsau's reaction to that conversation that they had?
I actually see Marsau is a hate and love situation for me, because Marsau is very misogynistic and traditionalist. However, he does have points at times. And I feel like as I grow with my emotional intelligence and logic, I do understand, I can decipher when somebody is telling me a fact versus a lie. I love that Marsau explained to him that he can't really give advice on this situation, because it's cool to speak at hypotheticals about what would happen if him and Tisha broke up, but he's not. And so he did direct him to Maurice, because Maurice does co-parent with his wife. I do appreciate that sound advice. I think that Martell paints a narcissistic, very well painted picture that makes people give him inaccurate advice based off of the information he gives. I didn't have a problem with Marsau. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have a problem with Marsau in this scene. I think that everything Marsau said was just based off the information he was given. And he also told him, I was talking to Maurice, because I'm not in this situation, and I can't tell you how me and Tisha would be in this type of situation, because it's hypothetical. And I respect that, because like I told y'all last week, I don't like people giving me advice on shit they ain't been through.
Yeah.
So I love that he's like, I don't know. I feel like I should be focused on the kids, but maybe Maurice would be better and helping you with that. I appreciate that about him.
I agree. I also feel like Marsau gave us a couple of faces where he was like, like he ain't really believe what Martell was saying.
Low key, I really like Marsau is a fan of Melanie. That's not to say he wants Melanie or anything like that. I don't think that, but I do think he has. I think he admires Melody more than what he says, and we saw that in past seasons of different things that happen. I think Marsau, like I think Martell got that dirt on Marsau, to be honest, and I think he plays the line.
For sure.
Like I so that's him playing the lines. I don't think Marsau believed one goddamn word. I don't.
I agree. So let's go to like the main scene that
the main party. The party of the hour.
It was skating party for her 2 daughters. Martell was not invited to this party, right? This was her week to have the kids. So she did not want him to come. According to Martell, his daughter emailed him saying, "Daddy, I want you to be there." Mom said it was okay. Fine, whatever. So Melody comes to this party. It's cute. It's decked out. Got the little roller rink lights and whatever. People there. It was cute. Martell walks up in the skating rink and goes to the people, and Melody sees him. So she's like, hey, come here. Let me talk to you for a second. Let's talk. So she's telling him like, hey, this invite only. I'm gonna need you to leave. You know what I'm saying? This you can't be here for this. And he's like, what you mean? Okay, this is my kid. This is my daughter's. I want to be here for my daughter's birthday. And she tells him, you can have them after the party. I will drop them off to you, and you can spend their birthday with them. You know what I mean? But you can't be here. So it was a lot of back and forth. He felt like he should be there. You see some of her family like, dude, you got to go, whatever. She tell him she don't call the police because he's like, call the police. I'm not leaving. Then he walks in there and sees his kids for a second, I guess. And then he does leave. And then the party goes on and it seems to be a cool party. What did you think? Do you think that Melody should have just let him come in, or do you think she should have stood her ground like she did?
So as someone who has been with abusive people and have witnessed different forms of co-parenting with other people that are close to me, I think that it is very clear off of what we see on the screen and what we've seen on social media that I support Melody's decision, because last season they went to Destin, Florida together. Mm-hmm. That shows that Melody was not trying to be bitter, and that she was trying to get to a place where we could coexist for our children together and do some of the things that they missed when we were married. You decided to take her for full custody. And the fact that you negated that information to Marceau, you want to talk about she invited Tisha, but she's not even friends with her, But there's real things in the courts that are happening simultaneously while y'all are filming.
Right. Mm-hmm.
That no, you cannot. Because when I tried to invite you to Destin, Florida, just last season, and now you're taking me to court, then we need to abide by the court's mandate of the co-parenting, because it's clear that when I give you an inch, you take a mile.
Right.
So I think Melanie did the right thing by telling Martell to exit. And this is how I can tell if you are confused about Martell's things. Let's look at the facts. Mm-hmm. Melanie said you can get the kids later. It's on their birthday. You refused, which lets me know that you already were irritated. You could have took them to anywhere. You could have took them to a place where you just pay admission and go have fun and go do something, but you didn't want to. Let's also look at the fact that you were talking about your upscale magazine with Marcel the previous scene, but on RHOA the next night, you at Sheree's house. Mm-hmm. And Sheree says that you've been to her house every weekend.
Mm-hmm. Since they started dating.
How did that work with your co-parenting agreement?
Right.
Who was watching your kids on the weekend? How are your weeks split up that you was able to go see Sheree every single weekend? So was somebody watching your kids while you're up here saying Melanie got 25 babysitters? Those types of things let us know, if you could read between the context clues, that Martell is focused on terrorizing his ex-wife. That's just what it is.
He is trying to control everything, and it is like, oh gosh, that man. If you don't know what a narcissist is, you need to watch this show. It is clear as day what he's doing, and it's weird to me how some people, because I was reading some comments where some people were saying how Melody was wrong, like she needed to be a bigger person. When does that become enough, though? Because she has been the bigger person, and he continues to do this. And that's a problem.
I go to therapy every Tuesday, y'all, because I always recommend therapy from 10 to 11 every Tuesday. And I remember discussing specifically, I'm gonna tell you a little bit of my business. I'm drinking some drinks about how complex that it is to co-parent with someone, or even, let's say, take the co-parenting out, because Martell mama is enough already.
Yes.
But just having your kids around people who you feel or who have shown is not good people,
Right.
and how difficult that is, right? Because the kids don't see that. Of course, your daughter emailed you and said she wanted you at the birthday party. She's your fucking daughter.
Right.
But the fact that you weren't an adult and you didn't correspond with Melody lets me also know that you wanted to just pop the fuck up.
Right.
And I think that people who reprimand Melody for her boundaries when it comes to Martell really doesn't understand what it is like to co-parent with a family or a parent or the other parent with toxicity.
Yeah.
There are many times in therapy I wonder with certain individuals when it comes to my kids, how much do I allow them to be around them? Because you don't want to speak bad about them, but you have information. So if something happens, it's your fault. But if you don't let them see them, it's your fault. You know what I mean? It's very complex. Nobody wants to talk about that. Martell is a narcissist. Martell has had, and I would implore y'all to watch from season 1.
Yeah, from the beginning.
To the Vegas trip in like 3 seasons ago, yelling at her, showing abuse, showing, all these different components that he has done.
Like, no, the way, it wasn't just yelling, the way Marceau had to grab him at the Vegas Melody. Let us
know if he did that on camera, what the fuck is he like in private? That if you have never experienced that type of thing, then you don't really understand why she was gun-ho on him leaving and how hard it is to do those types of things. That I was not mad at Melody. I'm very proud of Melody because they're also Christian, and her just leaving that marriage was a big step for her because a lot of Christianity tells you to work it out. So there's just a lot of things. I was not mad at Melody for that.
I wasn't either. Yeah, I was proud of her. Go ahead, sis. Keep your boundaries and stay tuned.
I do want to know how Sheree has solved the damn show, looked at social media, and still decided.
And even seen the baby mama, the Aryan of it all.
And still decided that
he's a catch. And he's a good guy.
That he's the mother prize. I want Sheree to get in therapy quickly. And no, I'm not licensed yet. I got 3 classes before I go to school to get licensed. But we can talk because I want something so better for you because her standards is in hell. And I don't know how you have watched that being in an abusive relationship with Bob that we had found that years ago. That Martell, like she's attracted, Sheree is attracted to people that abuse her. Or do not value her worth. And I really want her to figure out why. And Martell is the epitome of that. And I did buy a Millimeter shirt because I am a fan, but I'm not a stan of Melody. And I can definitely call out some areas of opportunity for Melody. And I can also say at the same time that what she does with Martell, I'm 100% on board. Melody. There are areas with Melody that I feel like she could do better in, like her issue with Stormy. I feel as if even though you have said you take a break from everybody, you take a break from the show, I do think you should have vocalized to Stormy, that because you are now on the show, I need a break from that. I think Mel needs to do better with vocalizing her boundaries, and maybe she won't be put as this bad friend shit. Yeah. I think she does, and she needs to do better with that. Yeah. Because people don't know your boundaries if you don't say it. So I didn't have a problem with that.
I'm with you. So that's on Saturdays, guys. And then again, Housewives is on Sunday. So you guys can keep up with us and watch the shows or just get the reviews or just stay for the hot topics. It's really up to you. But we have hit our time peak. I got stuff to do. Y'all see Karma. She parenting right now. So we got to get ready to do our thing. So make sure you guys support all these journals my girl Karma got. I want y'all to go and check out the link, okay, in the bios. I got the links in the descriptions if you want to get one of those, or you can support your girl and get the book, Woman to Woman, 10 Ways We Sabotage Relationships. It is on Amazon as we speak, or go to the website.
You know what you should do? You should find Sheree's P.O. box. And you should send her your goddamn book.
I probably will.
You need to go send these little housewives stuff. You need to send her the book and tell her to read it and see if she finds herself in these pages in ways that she self-sabotages and ways that she could do better. That's your assignment for the week. Find Sheree's P.O. Box, tell her you want to see a gift, send her a gift, and go send your stuff to Sheree for her to read.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna look into that. For real. Yes. Okay. Well, guys, next Wednesday, I want to see y'all. I want y'all to make sure y'all put alerts in y'all phones and come back here at 7 o'clock for more hot topics with me and Karma and more reviews. We thank you guys so much. My phone, my text messages is going crazy. I don't know why y'all text me comments versus actually putting them in the.
I get those too. I be looking at my phone because I have people that be texting me starting stuff like, don't forget this part and all of that. Put it in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe.
Right. All right, y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all again so much for supporting us. And we will be back again next week. Bye, guys.